Hello everyone and welcome back to the CO2 Rundown. I'm your host Chad Owens. Happy Monday. I hope you guys had an amazing weekend and got a chance to reset, relax, and recover. And you are off to a fast start. We got a lot to talk about in the world of sports. It was an exciting weekend of sports. I cannot wait to dive into this thing. I'm also going to be sitting down with Tsai and chatting with him about our University of Hawaii Rainbow Warrior football team. So stay tuned for that. Mahalo to Long's Drugs for all of your support of the show. Let's continue to support local and make Long's Drugs a part of your day. Also, friendly reminder, Football Fever. Pick up your Football Fever ballot in today's Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Fill it out, give yourself a chance to win a trip for two to Las Vegas, thanks to Vacations in Hawaii, plus $500 cash in your pocket to go along with that trip. There's a grand prize at the end of the season, a big green egg Kamado grill. Lots going on, lots to win. Look, continue to play, continue to compete with myself and the rest of the panelists. You never know, could be off to Vegas. Let's dive on in to the CO2 Rundown. The Houston Astros are your 2022 World Series champions. Man, when I look at the entire series, I think the Astros kind of, I don't want to say dominated, but I think they won more than they lost throughout this entire series. The Phillies had to come back in game one. They had to fight hard. My predictions were all off in this year's playoff, but look, congratulations to Houston, the city of Houston, for being world champions. You guys did it in unbelievable fashion, and congratulations, enjoy it. I know there's the parade coming up, the city's going crazy. I know what winning championships is all about and the feeling it brings to the community, obviously to the organization, the morale, everything you work so hard for in the off seasons to prepare for. Like, it's all about winning that world title. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. That's the main goal. And congratulations on achieving that goal. Houston Astros, 2022 World Series champs. Staying right here in that championship talk, Jerry Campany has an article in today's Honolulu Star-Advertiser talking about our state football championship tournament getting ready to kick off. Memories are going to be made. I talked about it before. That's what it's all about. The ultimate goal is to become division champs, but state champs, number one in the state. You know, you've got Kahuku, you've got Punahou, and you've got some teams that are looking to just prove just that. A lot of these teams had amazing seasons. I can't stop talking about how well-rounded I think our state has become. A lot of schools have a lot of talent now. It's not the same schools winning all the time. Well, Kahuku's sort of created that dynasty and they're the top dog right now. But overall competition, I love what I'm seeing. I just absolutely love it. I think the talent is spread more across the state. A lot of schools have their guys, and it's exciting to see. You know, it's exciting as a fan to see the level of football just continuing to raise each and every year. And it's because of you, right? It's because of you guys, the athletes, right? The Tuas, the Marcuses. You're giving these kids so much to shoot for, the motivation to be the next. And I absolutely love it. And they're pushing and they're working hard each and every day to become the next, but also as they mature, they realize like, hey, I'm gonna be my very best. You know, I'm gonna eventually be the one that these kids are looking up to. And that's what it's about. That's what it's about. So look, congratulations. Let's get after it this week. Have fun and make sure you guys take a look as Jerry dives deep into the state championship tourney. Talking about Tua Tagovailoa, I'm talking about this guy every week. He led his team, the Miami Dolphins, to, yes, another win. It was a close game against the Bears in Chicago, where Justin Fields, QB of the Bears, had a record-setting day on the ground rushing the football. Was also doing his thing with the arm, made some plays, gave them a chance, but at the end of the day, Tua's efficiency, the way he's playing right now, is like a true veteran. One of the top quarterbacks in the league right now. They're one of the top teams in the league. They play complementary football, offense, defense, special teams. And that's how they're able to win these games. Not turning it over, not giving up sacks, getting after the quarterback. And when you're forcing the other quarterback to have to run, and Justin Fields has that ability, you know, that's not. They almost got it done, but you got to have the balance. You got to have the balance, and that's the difference right now with Tua and the Dolphins. They are so balanced, it's unbelievable. I'm rooting for these guys to go deep into the playoffs. They are talking about Super Bowls, as they should. Every team should. That's the ultimate goal. We're talking about championships right now. That's the season we're in. Attaining championships, attaining the ultimate goal. And man, I'm so proud of Tua, watching him develop, watching and knowing what he's gone through. That all season, trade talks, all this, that's put to bed, man. It's the Tua Tagovailoa show in Miami. He is the guy. And he's such a humble leader, and he does it consistently each and every day. And that's why he has his team behind him, because of his personality. And so Tua, again, congratulations. Big win. Enjoy it. But I know you guys are already back to work prepping for the next one. This is absolutely special. Sisters. Lily, Wahine, Kapu, and Jovi Lefotu will be playing together for the first time for our University of Hawaii Rainbow Wahine basketball team. I mean, I'm just thinking about it. They had a goal to play together, and here they are, sisters, about to help the Big West champs, right, go for another title, right, go deeper into the NCAA tournament. Just imagine, I mean, being, your siblings, you guys grew up competing against each other, playing with each other, leveling each other up along the way, and you get to do it at the college level, at the Division I level, at a championship team level. It must be so special to be able to do that. So I want to congratulate you two on accomplishing your goal you guys set out to do. You want to play together, here you are, right? Now become that energy, the core that a team is always looking for when the game's going a little funky, right? When we need a spark. Bring that sister, hey, the sisters, you guys have that much more of that power when you guys are together. So use that energy, use that power to spread amongst the team. And I'm looking forward to seeing this dynamic. I think it's going to bring a lot of fun, family type of energy to this basketball team, and I'm really looking forward to it. So guys, please go take a look at this article in today's Honolulu Star-Advertiser. We're highlighting these sisters. We cannot wait to see them make their debut and start the road to defending that Big West title. Let's go Bows. All right, it's time. I'm about to sit down with my guy, Tsai, the sports guru, and talk about our University of Hawaii Rainbow Warrior football team, who suffered a huge loss over the weekend in Fresno. I think a lot of us didn't expect this. I expected a much more physical, just a more physical team on defense, because that's what we've shown. So I think we've taken a little bit of a step back. I'm not sure why, but I'm going to chat with Steven so to get his thoughts. And again, this is all part of our process. Steven talks about how there were some young guys getting opportunities to play because of the ruling, with still being able to redshirt even though you play 4 games. So this is an experience. This is an inexperienced football team who's now providing experience for our future, stars and future leaders of this football team, which I love. So without further ado, let's check out this interview with Tsai. Hey, my guy, Tsai, the sports guru. Thanks so much for joining me here, brother.
How you doing?
Man, I'm doing, we've had better days. I'm doing okay, but our University of Hawaii Rainbow Warrior football team, I don't know. I felt like we took a step back in Fresno. I know it's always a tough place to play. I've played there many a time. It's always a tough place to play, but it felt like something was missing.
Yeah, and I think the travel was really an effect on this. This was actually the longest trip to taken all season. And a lot of it has to do with it's not easy to get to Fresno. I mean, you think, okay, California, that should be the shortest distance, but it's not point A to point B. You got to go through San Francisco and then drive down 4 hours, or you go to or you go to LA and to drive up 4 hours. So it's not easy. They had a hard time figuring out how to kind of work it. So they left on noon Wednesday. They didn't get back till late last night. It just turned out to be a longer trip than when they went to Michigan or New Mexico State. And I know Timmy's done a really good job in trying to give these guys rest after games, staying over in the town and everything. But it's still a little tough, that kind of travel. And especially when you leave that early, it kind of impacts the amount of preparation you do for a game. But the other thing, too, is that Jay Kaner and Fresno State, that's a really good football team. And they're healthy and they got it going. And Hawaii's a little bit beat up and it's really struggling this year. It's been a struggle this year, especially with the transition to the new coaching staff and losing a lot of players from last year.
Yeah, absolutely. And, and that travel, we all know how that travel is, but we're inexperienced, right? We have a lot of young players. You talk about, you have the article today about the young guys getting experience, because we've got that rule. You can still redshirt playing 4 games. Yeah. So some guys saw some action, but at the end, we were still a young football team that's still learning. And we're going to get better in all phases. And being able to travel is part of the process in which we have to continue to learn, right? And even the coaches, everyone's in learning mode. But I just, at the end of the day, when those lights come on, when it comes time to play football, I've been there. And sometimes your mind is thinking one thing, but the body doesn't respond. And the travel, the food, it could be a lot of things that affect it that's out of our control, as athletes.
And the other thing too is that this whole year they've been kind of like working. They started off in the offseason trying to work on one type of offense, and then they start introducing run and shoot concepts. And until the last 2 series, when they just kind of just went for it. They just went for it, and they said, you know what, we're going to go all in. And we're just going to be, let's see how just running pure run and shoot was. And they scored 2 touchdowns on that. I know people are saying, well, why didn't you do it earlier? Well, trouble is, you have so many new players in there. You're just trying to learn a whole new system that you hadn't really practiced for in the off season. So I think if they fully commit to that and say that's going to be our offense, and let's do that moving forward, I think you'll see some improvements. I'm not sure it necessarily translates into wins or anything, but at least you're moving toward a goal. And I think the goal, again, like everyone's found, is the run and shoot is probably the best system for Hawaii.
Yeah, and hey, I know it's a long shot, but we could still win out and be bowl eligible, correct?
No, I think they're done. They're out of it.
We're done. We're done.
Yeah, we're done, especially with the bowl part of it, because normally they play 13 games. Because of the unique situation, usually you have to have a winning record or an even record, and so that means 7 wins. They've gotten in with 6 and 7, but I just don't think 5 and 8 is going to do it. So it looks like they.
Right.
There's always a hope and things like that, but it's especially since the Hawaii Bowl's been pretty kind to them. But I just didn't see.
Yeah.
I think they're looking forward to just finishing out this year, having good games for the seniors, and then just trying to see what's up and recruit like heck for next year.
Yeah, no, hey, every game's going to be a new opportunity for these guys to continue to learn, for the coaches to learn about these players, for these players to build their resumes. Like, hey, this is, I'm working for, the more opportunities for the next game. I want to play more. I want to get more snaps. Maybe I'll get a play, or I'm working to solidify my position, my job for next season. I think that's sort of the mindset in which they might be shifting to, especially with no playoff, no bowl opportunities. You always have to find a way to play for something, right? There's the biggest something right now is that we improve as a football team. If we can continue to just finish strong, and now we take that momentum into the offseason, into the training, into recruiting, and we solidified ourselves as, we are going to be more of a run and shoot football team. They're going to have an entire offseason, Stephen, to work on that offense.
Right. And, and now they're also coming up with some critical things coming up. It's not just what's happening on the field. Off the field, there's some big things happening. There's some talk that San Diego State might be added to the Pac-12. The announcement could come this week. Now, you're talking about Again, another breakup of a league. We've Hawaii's been through this before when they had the breakup of the WAC and those 8 teams went off and formed the Mountain West. You know, things keep changing and breaking apart and everything. You lose San Diego State. You know, Boise's always been shopping. That, you know, Boise's always looking around. I mean, this kind of could impact the future of Hawaii football, and especially since there's money for a stadium in Halawa. They just have no plans, and they really can't figure out what they're going to do with Halawa. You know, the longer this goes, as we all know, cost of building and everything goes up and up and up. And I think Hawaii is kind of in a critical stage of its football future, athletic department future. I mean, you know, if you know, Hawaii is the only team in the Mountain West that's only a football only member, so it's easily the one that, you know, if they have to make decisions, could get cut out. I mean, if everyone's on the mainland and they're all full participants in their league, and Hawaii is not, it's only a football member only. Though, you know, you could, things could look bad, especially since, you know, it appears that the Mountain West is facing some more departures. So it's gonna be kind of interesting to see what happens. I'm not really sure what the stances are on everybody, but, you know, election day tomorrow could determine a lot of different things and what's happening with the future of the program.
Yep, absolutely. So we'll just have to, you know, time will tell. You know, those are some of the things that are out of our control, and all we can continue to do is focus on the things that are in our control, and that's just showing up to work every day, putting out our best, and just preparing, like, you know, preparing to win the next game, win each day. So with that, Steven, look, man, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Just one thing I want to bring up, and I only want to bring it up. I know it's sure, but I want to bring it up. But this guy Juan Munoz, he's a point guard for UH basketball. He was last year. He transferred from Longwood. He was supposed to be starting point guard.
Tore his Achilles.
He had three ACL injuries. He tore his Achilles, and now it's like, it looks like it's you know, it looks like his career is over, even before it started. So he would have missed 2 seasons without ever playing a game for UH. I think you kind of know what it's like. I think your sons know what it's like when you know, there's so much promise, everything's going well, and then injuries happen in sports.
Yeah.
It just seems like that's just another devastating thing. And I think you've gone through many injuries, and you know that probably the hopelessness you feel like, will it ever get better? Can I go through another rehab? And it's just
it does get harder every time. It gets harder every time. But you know what, Steven? You become a better person every time. You become a better version of yourself every time. And even if his basketball career is over, and let's just say, I hope not. I hope he can continue rehab from that, get back strong, and eventually, you know, maybe overseas, or there's an opportunity to play, you know, that'd be amazing. But anytime we face adversity in life, and in athletes, our biggest adversities are always those devastating injuries. But every time we come back from them, we learn so much about ourselves. We grow as individuals, we get so much better, and we are so much more prepared for life. And to me, as someone that's been there, done that, and now here I'm sitting in the position I am now, I want nothing more for athletes than to realize that there's a lot more life after sports. And you take all the lessons that you learn while being a student athlete, all the adversities, everything, the wins, the losses, and you find a way to make it a positive. You find a way to use that fuel for yourself and others, inspiring others. And you just have to make it worth something. You know, I talked about there's always a goal. There's always something to shoot for. And even through adversity, there's always a bigger why that will come from it. And you have to look at it with that approach, with no other way.
Right, because life is very long, and, you know, athletic career probably is only a portion of life, but there's so many more great things he can do, so many more things athletes can do when their career is over. You know, their life is not over. You're right, there's so much more things. You're proof of that. Rich Miano's proof of that. I remember there's this great high school basketball player, Kanoa Leahy, hurt his knees. I think Kanoa Leahy did okay.
Yeah, now he's doing really good for himself. So, you know, it's all about where your mindset is and what you want out of it. So yeah, hey, road to recovery, man. Good luck with that. We're praying for a speedy recovery there for you, and you know, good luck to our basketball team moving forward. And they're going to find somebody to fill that void. They have to. That's what a team sport is all about. It's next man up, and you know, good luck to them.
Oh, by the way, so Hawaii is playing Utah State this week. Utah State's defensive lineman, Holly, he's a Punahou graduate. He's the two-time world fire knife champion. You got to ask yourself, why is a fire knife champion in Utah right now? Hawaii's got to reclaim that. Hawaii's got to get back into the fire knife game because, you can't have a fire knife champion in Utah. Utah's a lovely state. It's the beehive state or whatever it is. But this is the Aloha state. I really believe that you got to bring the fire knife championship back to Hawaii.
I love it. I agree with you, man. I agree with you wholeheartedly, Stephen. So
thanks.
I appreciate
Sorry
it, man.
to take so much time.
No, you're not. The people love it. The people love you. But okay, Stephen, thank you so much for your insight. We're gonna get this thing right, man. It's just one day at a time. I believe it.
All right. Thanks again. Thanks for having me on.
Take care. Aloha.
Thanks.
And that is it for today's show. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in on this beautiful Monday afternoon. Look, man, it's been a blessing to be able to do this with you guys. I love it. I hope you guys love my energy. I encourage you guys to every single weekend, right, to reset, relax, recover. It's Monday, and I'm motivating you guys to put your foot on the gas pedal and to come out the gates. That's what it's about, right? You got to start fast, weather the midweek storm, and then we got to finish strong. That's just the cycle that we get into, right? But that's what it's about. And so thank you guys so much for tuning in with us. Mahalo again to Long's Drugs for all of your support of the show. Let's continue to support local and make Long's Drugs a part of our days. I'll see you all come Wednesday. Aloha.